Huh, I can't change the orientation on this thing? Oh. Well, I guess it is what it is. Alright, so this is me recording for my future self or whoever cares. What I finally ended up with for how I am doing Lego sets. The first thing is I got this guy over here. This stacks together and is a very nice way to stop working on a set. Second is that these are shallow. I don't know if that, I don't know if I was, stacking. These are shallow bins. It's an extra bin. This went with this guy. So that it can reach in and get the pieces. Because if you use something like this, it's really deep and it's hard to grab the pieces. But never fear, I would often reach in for one of these guys, but I grab this guy instead. So I take all the long pieces out and I stick them in there where they kind of stick out and they're easy to grab, the bigger ones. Get those out of the way. The other thing is when I'm getting this set up, I used to try to sort them myself. Like I would try to put all the small pieces in one spot, but then it turns out that they have these guys separated from, say, these guys, or I don't know, that's probably a bad example. Maybe these guys separated from these guys for a reason in the bags, because they're different pieces, right? So what I would do instead now is I just grab all the pieces and I just lay them out. I won't open them. I just put them in a box and try to get the sizes. And some of the bigger ones have smaller things inside them, okay? And then I will not open all of them at the same time. I'd actually start going through the directions, and whatever I need, I'll find that guy, open that one, and dump that in. That way it loads the variety of pieces into my brain a little bit slower, so that by the time I'm into the build, I'm like, oh, I need a blue thing, it's right over there. Oh, I need a black thing, it's right over there. And I've memorized, once I'm into it, where all the different pieces are as I need them. And then if I need to look for something, I can just do that. The other thing I'm doing, and pardon the very messy Christmas house, is I'm using a tall chair so that, let me see if I can get this. Can I switch orientation? Yeah, there we go. Doing a tall chair, if I'm in a short chair, then my arm has to come all the way up to grab a piece, right? So you end up with a lot of shoulder strain. So if you have a tall chair, then your arm does not have to come up. You're kind of looking down on the set a little bit, and I am short-sighted. So this is probably the right height for me for my focal length. And I'm looking down and stuff. And the other thing is that the light is good, as opposed to being, if I'm a little bit further down, it can get a little bit glary from the lights that are coming in from the other side. Yeah, and I'm working on bag number 2 of this guy. There is the result of bag number 1. That's the back end. This is the front end. And yeah, Quinn and I started this last year, and it just took too long. So what I'm doing is I'm running ahead and doing all the fiddly bits, and then if by the time we get to bag 3 and 4, where it gets a little bit more simple stuff, where Quinn doesn't have a lot of time, so leave the good parts for him there. All right, cool. Let's see, is there anything else I wanted to cover? No, I think that's about it. The other thing is I'm very careful of, there's a block there so it doesn't accidentally fall over. These suckers hit the floor, it's horrible. I did have one missing piece, so I just borrowed a head. And at the end of it, if I still need the piece, you can get the, there's an index of parts in the back here somewhere. You can get the exact part number and order those. Yeah, there it is. There's the index of parts. So yeah, I think I'm going at about maybe 50 steps an hour. So I should take another 2 hours to get to the end of stage 2, back at 2. All right, cool. Cheers. Oh, and yeah, this rack and pinion steering, woo, and drive shaft with differential as well. So if I hold that one closed, and that one still spins. But if I hold them both, it definitely applies. And so the power goes to some ratio of the two. And that's down here. Here's a differential thing. Anyway, very cool. All right, bye.